I mean, I think the UK has always had I mean, there was never any. I don't think there was ever any question of us being in the euro, and I certainly don't think there's any question of it now, despite one or two people, I think including Paddy Ashdown, saying that we'll be knocking on the door in 5 years' time, to join. I don't think that will be the case, and the reason for that, I think, is that there was one path which would have taken us into the euro, and that was that if ERM membership in the early 90s had been a huge success, and we decided that we rather liked this, and then I think the convenience argument would have taken over in favour of the euro. The argument I still get from people sometimes is, why can't we be in the euro? It's such a pain having to change currency every time you go somewhere, so I think that would have, and the economic arguments would have diminished, because we would say, well, this is working fine, we're in the ERM, but the fact we dropped out meant that there was, even if we had passed those famous 5 tests and it had gone to a referendum, I think it would be very, very difficult to get a referendum through. So I don't think it was ever a realistic possibility, following the Black Wednesday in September '92, that we would have joined. And so I think we've always had, and on defence, having had obviously our historic role, I think we've found it quite difficult to sort of unwind from that. We've always regarded the UK should be a big defence player, we should have a disproportionate influence, punch above our weight and all those things. And I just think you have to be realistic about that. I mean, I think we'll still be more important than other countries of similar size, but you have to cut your cloth, so I think that will change. But overall, I mean, I don't see any particular issue about talk of an even more two-tier Europe than we've got at the moment, because it's been two-tier ever since the euro was founded. The euro started at the beginning of 1999, and from that moment on, all the important meetings involving finance ministers had the Eurogroup and the rest had to wait outside while the Eurogroup were talking. So it's been two-tier in that respect. If it becomes more two-tier, we have to live with that, and all you have to do is ensure that you don't have things imposed on you that are unacceptable. And obviously the financial transactions tax is an issue there at the moment. I mean, I think we've always been quite or mid-Atlantic or something, so a kind of bridge between America and Europe. I think the challenge, and I hope we can rise to it, is to be able to lock in more to the places in the world where the growth is. I mean, historically Britain has been good at tapping into growth wherever it was, and that's why we had the empire and all those things. But you've got to learn that again now. So we need to be more involved. We're pretty involved, more involved with China, more involved with India, more involved with all those countries. And and I think this crisis is a sort of wake-up call in that respect. But not just in terms of it's the advanced countries that are going to be growing more slowly, but also to be so dependent on the Eurozone for trade and so on at a time when you have no control over it is unhealthy. So Europe will always be important because of proximity, but the more that we can shift away from that dependence, the better, I think. And I think it will happen over time. So I'm reasonably optimistic that will occur. And so that's where I'd see the UK, more global than we are at the moment.